Welcome back. For this segment of our tutorial, what we're going to be looking at are some best practices when using Land School in the classroom. Now, the one thing I do want to stress is that there is no one correct way to do this. This is completely tailorable to what you feel is best for you and your students. As you can see here, we've got a classroom set up here. You can see the first few students, these students are either absent today or they are not logged into their Horry County Schools account. Here at this school, that means that they should be logged into Edgenuity User and using that to access Edgenuity and do their schoolwork, and so they wouldn't show up here. The only ones who will show up here should be the ones who are actually signed in to their Horry County Schools account on their Chromebooks. Now, I use this in several different ways. One, I use this to make sure that students are properly logged in. But what I mean by that is if somebody pops up, say if this student were active, and I know that this student is supposed to be logged into Edgenuity User, then now I need to go have a conversation with that student. But for the ones who may or may not have to log into Edgenuity User, that's where you get these live views of their screens. Now, with that, if I would suggest first setting up which one that you would prefer to see. Right now, I've got Cell Large. You can go with Extra Large or smaller if you would like. And we can go down all the way to small. Well, it's harder to see, but if you have very big classes, this could be beneficial for you. And if you hover over these, if you give them a second, it will pop out and show you a bigger picture of what's going on that screen at that time. But also, one thing you can do is you can highlight the ones that you want, say, like hold the control key and click on all of the screens you would like to view, and you can just click selected only, and it will pop up with just the ones that you want. So after you've taken roll, you know who's here, you know who's not. Now we can see what's going on. But simple time, so right here you can see we've got one student who is on Facebook. Here we've got one student who's on Google Play Music. And we have one student who is playing a video game. And this student is actually logged into Edgenuity. Now, depending on your classroom rules, it will determine whether or not you deal with the student who is on Edgenuity when they're supposed to be logged into Edgenuity User, but that part is up to you. But for the other ones, this gives you the opportunity to go back and have a conversation with the student and let them know, reiterate what the school and classroom policies are and what's expected of them. Now, you can also do this a second way. If we click this drop down arrow and we click details, for me, this is my favorite. If you're having any issues with some lag time or it becomes obvious that what you see on the computer, on their computer screen doesn't match, is ahead or behind what you're seeing on yours. Here you can see, I like using this one because it gives you the student name or how they're logged in, but it also gives you the last website that they were on. This doesn't take into account the lag time, and you can double click on it and it will pop up the live stream from that particular student. Go back to control and click stop viewing or remote controlling, and now it will take you back to your details page where you can see what everybody's doing in the last website that they were on. Like for me, what I look for the things like play.google.com, which is music. Again, that's when I go in and have a conversation with a student. Now, again, the key here is making sure that you're having these conversations and you're heading off the issues. It's not all about oh, I got you. It's about creating a teaching moment to help students understand the rules, the processes, and the procedures of your classroom. Now, if you have a continual problem, you can click on the student like this one that we have that is on Google Play Music, click the drop-down box, and you can do a blank screen. Now, if you blank the screen, I would suggest configuring the message. One I use is eyes on me. You click apply, you click OK, and then you come back and click eyes on me, and it will turn their entire screen blue and post this message, eyes on me, cueing them to find me wherever I'm at, and we're going to have a discussion about what they were on. Then just don't forget to click it back off. That way they can get back to where they're supposed to be. You do also have the option to highlight all the students that you're working with, so you can control and click on all of your students. And you can go to limit web and do configure web limiting, and here is where you can put either the websites you would like to allow or the websites that you would like to block. You can't do both, but you can pick which way works best for you. I have had situations where classes work better if I blocked certain websites, and other classes where all they needed was access to one or two sites, and that kept them focused on the end result and what they were supposed to be doing. And so I would click here, and like I would put www.youtube.com or www.play.google.music.com and put your whole list. It does have a limit, so once you run out of space, and it is a right lengthy limit, but once you get to about 15 or 20 or so, it will not let you add any more, and you'll really have to narrow down which ones are more important. But you click apply and you click OK, then come back and click block list, and it will block these websites for those students. Now, with our current setup, that is the majority of what you can do. But the one thing I will tell you is make sure at the end of every class you come back to administer, click one-to-one, and click dismiss current class. That way the students that you have will now be able to be picked up on Land School by their next teacher. Again, I hope this is beneficial, but as always, if you run into problems, feel free to contact me, contact Ms. Hughes, or any other person on our staff who is adept at Land School. Have a fantastic day.